Consent is an important aspect of the sex worker world. See, consent is what makes sex sex. It's the explicit communication between two or more informed adults about wanting to share intimacy with one another. Without willing, enthusiastic, sober, and continuous consent, it's not sex. It's rape. Unfortunately, the Tennessee Supreme Court didn't seem to understand that. This is Cyntoia Brown. She's 30 years old, and at age 15 was convicted of selling sex and committing murder. She was pimped out through sex trafficking against her will, and in 2004, at age 15, killed a man who tried to force himself on her. Brown says she was forced into prostitution after a difficult childhood. At her trial, she said her victim, Johnny Mitchell Allen, solicited her for sex and drove her to his house. But here's the thing, you can't solicit a minor for sex. She was 15. Minors can't consent. Mr. Allen was, in that moment, a sex offender. Once at Allen's house, Brown saw a gun cabinet in Allen's room, she said during her trial. She resisted him until he appeared to reach under the bed, at which point she believed he was going to kill her. Brown took a gun out of her purse and shot Allen, killing him. Brown was tried as an adult. More than a decade after sentencing, Brown's case caught the attention of A-list celebrities like Rihanna and Kim Kardashian West, who began advocating for mercy. Her story spread on social media using the hashtag #FreeCyntoiaBrown. In a clemency hearing in May of last year, the Tennessee Board of Parole was split on its recommendation to Governor Bill Haslam. 2 of the 6 members voted to grant clemency, 2 to deny it, and 2 to make her eligible for parole after 25 years. Now, I think anyone here should be able to tell why this is an injustice. Cyntoia is clearly a victim here. I'll cite articles in the description that discuss it. She was trying to get out of a terrible, abusive situation, but Tennessee's Supreme Court decided to convict her anyway. The lawyer who was responsible for her being forced to stay in prison was so overcome with guilt over what he'd done that he quit his job. That's how fucked up this case is. This situation is just one of many times people have been punished for killing their abusers. Some of the more notable cases of this include Nancy Seaman, Sally Challen, and Emma Jane Magson. Some studies even claim more than 40% of women convicted of murder did it to escape an abusive situation. Now, there is a somewhat happy ending to this story. You see, earlier this year, the governor of Tennessee granted partial clemency to Miss Brown. She'll be going home in August after the paperwork is done being processed. She'll be given therapy by the state and will get to see her family again before Christmas of 2019. But, unfortunately, Cyntoia was also placed on 20 years probation and is being forced to do community service. Do you see why this is a problem? This is not true clemency. Cyntoia is still being punished for defending herself from statutory and violent rape. She should not have spent a single day in that cage. She should not have to serve probation. She should be given reparations by the state of Tennessee for a false conviction and set free. This is the strongest example I have ever seen as to why sex abuse victims are afraid to come forward. Cyntoia went looking for help and got an orange jumpsuit and silver bracelets. So I ask that we all keep talking about what happened to Cyntoia and people like her. I ask that we fight to fix a broken system that punishes victims. And let me be clear, this is an issue that affects male survivors too. And intersex abuse survivors, queer abuse survivors, every color and creed of human being is affected by this flawed system. Cyntoia has stated that she seeks to use her freedom to work towards preventing other girls from going through the horrors she's experienced and eliminating the sex slavery complex. That is a cause I believe all of us can stand by and support. With all of this said, there are links in the description to news articles covering the Cyntoia Brown case, articles on the experiences of convicted abuse survivors, and more information that could be of interest to you. Give them a read when you get the chance. Stay safe, take care of yourself, and I hope you guys have a good day. Whew, I took a long break from making videos there, huh? Sorry it's been so long since my last real video, everybody. The holidays have had a bit of a kick in the ass on my mental health. I'm working on it, though. 2019 has started off on kind of a rough foot. My partner's car is falling apart again, so we had to take it to the shop. And my own health has been struggling somewhat, but we're doing the best we can. I really appreciate all of your continued support and engaging with my content. You guys are awesome, and I wouldn't be able to do this without you. If you want to support me and everything I do, I'd really appreciate it if you became a Patreon patron. There are tons of awesome rewards, like free art for $5 patrons and above, or access to the scripts for these videos I make. And there's a Discord server, and potentially a Minecraft server if I can get to a point where I'm making enough money off of my channel. There's also links to my merch store on Redbubble, my Ko-fi, and my social media if you guys want to follow me. I should be back to making about 1 to 3 videos a week, depending on how I feel, but I'm going to be live streaming a lot more often now, so I hope you guys will start engaging with my Twitch, which is also linked in the description. A special thanks to my patrons, without whom this channel wouldn't be possible. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!